Hello everyone, welcome into this reading. We've got another very special guest with us today, and this is the spirit of Barbara Windsor. Now, this was very unexpected. I just sat down in order to do a collective reading, and I've asked Spirit, as I always do, tell them they are cordially invited, and whoever wishes to come through. It's usually the spirit fam or somebody else that wishes to have a message for us. Today, the very beautiful, very lovely Barbara Windsor has stepped forward, and she's sat in front of me in my chair. And she's here to try and encourage us to laugh more. She's one of the very first things she said is that laughter is the very best medicine. We've had a bit of a chit chat before starting this video, just so that I can get a feel for her energy. She is beautiful. She always was. I know Barbara from watching the Carry On films, which I'm sure some of you will. And also from watching her in EastEnders. She's saying congratulations EastEnders on their recent 40th anniversary. She said when she joined in the early 1990s, she kind of always had this feeling. She's saying she always knew that it would kind of stay the distance because it's such an amazing TV programme. It's one of those that you either love or you hate, a bit like the Carry On films, really. But as I said to her, my mum kind of got me into the Carry On films in the 70s and the 80s, obviously when I was a bit older, because they are very tongue-in-cheek, and which is wonderfully innocent. I think things have changed so much these days. You're kind of scared to say anything in case you offend someone. But back in those days, I think everything was a little bit lighter, a bit more fun. She's just said a bit more slapdash, darling. Yeah, okay, so she's chosen 4 decks, so that I think we're going to have a bit of a shuffle and see what comes out. But she's presenting herself. She's a very small lady, big boobs, which is kind of what she was known for, bless her. And she's got the big blonde hair, the kind of 60s updo. This is how she's presenting to me. What we need to understand is that when we transition to spirit, there is no physical form, so we are just light. I had an experience of that a couple of weeks ago, which I will tell you about, possibly in another video, maybe in this one. We'll see how long this one takes, obviously, because we don't want it to go on for hours. But essentially it was during a meditation, so it wasn't a near-death experience that I experienced, but it was during an amazing meditation that I had, and I can only liken the experience that I had to death, if you like, the death of the physical. So getting back to the point, when we transition into spirit, we are just light, so there's no physical form. So somebody else could channel the energy of excuse me, Barbara, Dame Barbara. She keeps telling me to call her Babs, so that's what I'm going to do. I will refer to her as Babs. So somebody else could channel her energy, and she would present herself in a completely different way to them. Spirit come back in a form that we would recognise them. If they just came back as light, which is what the soul essentially is, we wouldn't know who the hell we were talking to, would we? So so that's why spirit come to me in a certain way, and somebody else that was channeling the same spirit, they might come through in a completely different form. So she's got the blonde kind of 60s updo, very blonde, platinum. Beautiful smile. She sat smiling at me, and she's got a dark, like a polo neck. It's quite high, quite slim fitting, and kind of a pencil skirt, if you like. So it's quite, the energy is quite 1960s, how I'm being shown her, okay? Okay, she wants to talk about EastEnders again at the moment. She's saying the actors that she worked with were absolutely wonderful. She had a whale of a time. She's trying to get me to calm down a bit. I get quite nervous when I have to present myself on camera. I have a lot of self-doubt. She's saying to me, don't you worry about that, darling. I used to get absolutely, these are her words now, I used to get absolutely terrified, petrified before I went on EastEnders, before we had to start filming. She said, but as soon as I was into the flow of it, she was fine, and she had the support of the wonderful actors around her. And she's telling me that I've got to remember that I've got the wonderful support of my own spirit fam around me. It's the same thing. She particularly loved working with Ross Kemp, who played Grant Mitchell in EastEnders as one of her sons. She said they became really, really great friends, really, really great friends, while she was still here. She says she does visit him from now and then, every now and then. She tries to make herself known to him, but she doesn't really know if he understands kind of what the messages are. She says he kind of gets it and kind of doesn't, which is kind of a natural thing for people. Not everybody can sit down and talk to spirit, even though we all have the ability to. Some people are scared to. For me, it's kind of always come naturally. I've considered myself to be very, very lucky. I was born into a family that was highly spiritual. My grandparents used to run and own a spiritualist church in the town where I was raised, in the Cotswolds. And my mum was an avid spiritualist. She used to go to spiritualist church religiously, I'd say, like twice a week. I think in Oxford they used to have them on a Wednesday and Sunday. I think their services were, if I can remember rightly. For me, I did get into spiritualism. I can remember although I did go to a Church of England school, I can remember being told by the church vicar that spiritualism was evil and you shouldn't be speaking to the dead, it's the devil's work and all this. Heard it all, heard everything. So, but as I've lost loved ones in the spirit, to the spirit world, like my mum died 28 years ago of cancer, I've kind of found my own way. I felt that personally I didn't really resonate with going to spiritualist church. It just wasn't me. I felt it was quite closed-minded. I am extremely open-minded, and I speak to what I call my galactic fam and other beings, other energy from different planes of existence, etc. And the experience that I had with the spiritualist church that I used to attend was nothing like that, and I actually got told off. I went for some training one day, and I'd said to the lady that I'd been learning Reiki. You can't call it Reiki. Healing is healing. So yeah, that's the kind of side of it that I personally didn't like. So I've kind of moved away from that, following my own path, which we should do anyway. Anyway, that's enough about me. I'm sorry, I kind of went off at a tangent, and I don't really know why I did that. But anyway, there you go. That's a tiny bit about me. So let's get back to Babs. Let's see what else she has to say. Okay, she's saying, don't be afraid to express your true self. Too many people are holding themselves back and not shining their light because they feel it's too bright for some people. I think I mentioned that in another video. She's talking about the Carry On films. Now, they were wonderful. As I said, to me, they were just very tongue-in-cheek, but innocent, beautiful, hilarious. Absolutely love them. I've seen them all probably at least 100 times, and there are quite a few. I think there are 27, I think. Yeah. And she's saying one of the great actors of her time was Sid James. And she's saying he was, when he was in the physical, he was absolutely hilarious, very, very dry sense of humour. She said, and that laugh, I know, but I'm talking about your laugh as well, Babs, because you've got that beautiful little giggle that I just adore. But yeah, she's saying Sid in particular had a really dirty laugh that she absolutely loved. They all loved it. She's mentioning Kenneth Williams. She's saying he was beautiful, very serious man. Nothing like what you saw on camera in those films, she said. Nothing like that at all. Very serious man. Quite well to do. She's saying it was the time that they were made in kind of the 60s, the 70s, the Carry On movies were. It was a completely different time to what it is now. And she's saying when she visits her family and her loved ones, which Spirit always do for us, which is beautiful, she says that she can see almost hang on a minute. How can I explain that, Barbara, without saying, sorry, Babs, without sounding disrespectful to anybody? She's saying she can see almost the destruction, the demise of the mind due to the constant looking at the phones and the doom scrolling, as we all do. I do it, and it's really, really difficult to get out of that trap. I know that from experience. It is really difficult. Once you start doom scrolling, you've kind of had it. I mean, I've literally sat and scrolled through social media for hours without even realising it. So what she's saying, get back to ourselves, get back to that innocent laughter. But she's saying ultimately everything's going to be okay. I think she means with, do you mean with the collective? Yes, she means with the collective. Everything's going to be fine. And we are going through trying times to test our resilience for the future generations. She's saying it's the future generations that are going to bring us back to ourselves. Gosh, look at that redness there. Sorry, that's because I tend to go red and get hot. I've got the fan on me, so I do apologise if you can hear that. I hope you can't. It's quite a quiet fan, but I get really hot when spirit come close to me, so I apologise. Plus I'm in menopause as well, which doesn't help. So yeah, these are difficult times. Those are my words, not Babs. Yeah, she's saying it's the future generations that we need to mould and we need to nurture, and because they're the ones that will rise us up and essentially bring us out of the mud that we've got stuck in, she's saying. She's saying we have a lot of spirit around us trying to help us. A lot of galactic energy that are around us trying to help us. She's saying, but the problem is most people are not ready to listen yet. And we have this kind of ongoing fear that the aliens are going to come and they're going to take over the world and destroy us all. It's not going to happen. Even if the government of the world, the governments of the world start saying it's a threat to humanity or what have you. I'm sure we all know what's been going on in the night sky. There's weird drones and stuff. One of my spirit guides happens to be a grey alien. His name is Abalon, and he's been with me since my pre-incarnation on this planet. And he brings me wisdom. What he's saying is not all what we see in the sky is them. A lot of what we see in the sky is us, meaning humans. There is a lot. What he's saying now, he's just come in and stood next to me, which is probably going to make me even hotter, sorry. If I just start glowing, then I apologise. But what he's saying is there's a lot more hidden from the collective consciousness than we know. Okay, can we leave that there? Yeah, we'll leave that there for now from Abalon. Thank you for coming in, and we'll come back to him another time, because I think that would be a whole nother video. I think, as I said, I kind of want to keep an eye on the time, because obviously we don't want videos to be like 5 hours long or something like that. Or maybe you do, I don't know, you'll have to tell me. So I've got Wikipedia up, so just a little bit about Barbara Windsor, just in case anybody doesn't know. She was a dame. So Dame Barbara Windsor, she was born Barbara Ann Deeks on the 6th of August 1937, and she died on the 10th of December 2020. And she was an English actress known for her roles in the Carry On films and for playing Peggy Mitchell in the BBC One soap opera EastEnders. It says she joined the cast of EastEnders in 1994, and she did actually win a British Soap Award for Best Actress in 1999. Her character was killed off in 2016. So She's in Golders Green crematorium. That's where the physical is. Obviously not her soul. She's saying, can we pull a couple of cards? So yes, of course, let's do that. She's chosen the deck she wanted. So Babs, message for the collective from you, please. Let's have a look. See what wishes to come out. Okay, we've got, sorry, ring light again. Sorry, we've got the 5 of air, which is the 5 of swords. What she's saying is, look at those peace doves. She's saying that's exactly how she feels. That's what it's like. It's complete freedom, and I would agree with that. As I said, this is possibly for another video because I'd like to take my time and tell you the whole story, really, but it made me really, really emotional when I did that meditation. Now, meditations normally do make me emotional because I go and see the fam and what have you, and it's so beautiful. I just don't want to come back because this planet's hard work. Let's face it, it's hard work here. So, but yeah, she's saying the imagery on this card is the freedom that you feel, and that's what I felt. I never felt so free. It was amazing. So yeah, she's saying that's how she feels, free. Isn't that wonderful? It kind of makes me kind of believe that we are kind of a bit trapped on this planet, I think. Okay, so she said, trapped by what we are led to believe, trapped by our conditioning. She said that it's so sad that when we're children, we have this beautiful, innocent energy, and we want to explore everything. Everything excites us, and then literally we're made to go to school and we have our wings clipped and that's all taken away, and then it's like, you have to learn this subject, you have to do this, I'm your teacher, you tell me how to do this, I want you to do this, that and the other, don't go there because it's dangerous, don't touch that because it's hot, don't climb that tree because you might fall off, you know. And she's saying that really is what the children of the future, and I'm probably talking how many generations, maybe she's saying 3 to 4, next generations will be the ones that will stop all of that, so way after my time. So yeah, she's saying we need to start now to try and to nurture the youngsters now, to get them learning about meditation and about nature. She's saying take them out into nature and just get them to listen to bird song, get them to learn about trees, because they're the ones that are really going to heal this planet. So we've got the 6 of water here. Isn't that a gorgeous card? And another one popped out at the same time, which is temptation. This is that's the energy that we're kind of stuck in at the moment. She's saying we live on a planet where money is God. Look at that chest of gold there. She's saying we want it all, and it doesn't mean anything. It literally does not mean anything because you can't take it with you. The imagery in this card is speaking to me because it looks like this woman is yearning for more than what is. Oh, a second, let me just put my specs on so that I can actually have a look. Probably won't be able to see you now, but anyway, that's better. Oh, look, I can see the cards now. Yeah, this woman, she's got kind of a longing in her face, like a yearning for more. And this temptation card really says to me that even though she's opened this chest of gold, she's still not satisfied. It's never enough. It's never enough. It's never enough. And that's quite sad, isn't it, really? Okay, she wants me to go to this deck now. She's saying we need to bring the simplicity back. Bring the laughter, bring the joy, bring the fun, bring the innocence back. She's saying that is what's going to raise the vibration of the planet. Here we go. Find your way home. What was I talking about? Bird song. We need to find our way back to ourselves. We've kind of lost our way a little bit. As I said, we're living on a planet where money is God. It kind of rules everything, doesn't it? So she's saying once we find our way home, all the clouds are going to scatter and disperse and the sun's going to come back out. Oops, sorry, it's too many. About 50 fell out. There we go. You are the foundation. So that means that it's us that have to change. We have to change what we do, how we think, how we love one another. Start growing the youth of today because they are the seeds of tomorrow. Where do you want to go now? This one. Okay. She's fading in and out. She's not gone completely, but her energy is fading a little bit now. What I want us to remember is it's difficult for spirit to come through to us. The same that it can be difficult for us to go to them, if you like, if we want to go and speak to them. It's as difficult for us. If you've ever seen a ghost hunting show, and any of them, you'll find that the people there now I've been on hundreds of ghost hunts. I'm absolutely obsessed. But give me a castle on the top of the hill that's kind of deserted, that you have like a wailing woman in spirit there. That's my type of thing. I don't really want to go on any more ghost hunts where you go to a house, a supposed haunted house, that's been absolutely ghost hunted to death, and all you get is like loads of people that start shouting out, can you make a sound? And then when the spirit does, they run a mile or they start screaming or whatever. Nothing triggers me more. No disrespect to anybody, this is just how I feel. So but the point is, what a lot of people don't realise is for that spirit, that energy, to make a knock on the wall or to move a piece of furniture is incredibly difficult for them to do. And it exhausts them. It absolutely exhausts them. So, yeah, so this is why I don't really want to keep Babs any longer than necessary, really. So, oh, I've just looked at my time and it just said 29:29. So, here we go. We've just got a couple more cards now. So we've got I Will Pray. Look at that cat. Oh my God. I love cats. Yes, I'm a crazy cat lady. And I Am Cherished. She's saying, ask for what you want, because prayer works. She's saying prayer 1,000,000,000% works. And I am cherished. She's saying never forget that you are surrounded always by our loved ones in spirit. Should we wrap this up, Barbara? Okay, she's saying one more card. Here we go. Listen to your intuition. It's time to fly. So we need to make a change now. Come out of the mire and the mud. Unstick ourselves from the mud, as she's saying, and start learning to fly, she said, because there's nothing to fear. Spirit will always catch us. Take that leap of faith and start laughing again. It's almost like we've forgotten how to. And I believe that's her message today. So I'm going to wrap that up now. Babs, thank you so much for coming through. I really, really appreciate that. You are adored by millions of people, isn't she? I absolutely adore her. And she's beautiful energy. I can still hear that little giggle in my head because she's just laughing. She said, oh, don't be silly, darling. No, it's true. It's true. Thank you so much. I'm going to wrap this up now. Thank you. And she said, thank you. That's thanks to everybody, and keep smiling and keep laughing. That's what she said. So that's wonderful. Thank you, everybody, to my spirit fam, to Abalon, and everybody that surrounds me and supports me. And thank you for watching. I really, really appreciate you. I hope you've enjoyed that. Maybe she'll come back through another day soon. But anyway, I'm going to go and crack on, make myself a cup of tea, I think, now, and chill out a bit. Okay, my loves, take care of yourselves. I will see you soon. Bye.